welcome to this week's studio vlog. My name is Caroline, if you've never watched my channel before. I don't really have a massive plan for this week, so I'm just going to film whatever arty bits I get up to really. One thing I would like to focus on is applying to more craft markets. Basically last week I took part in my first craft fair and it was such a fun time that I kind of just want to get involved in as many as possible. So that's the main focus I guess for this week. I did film the process of me doing my first craft fair if you're interested in watching that. It was in last week's studio vlog and I'll have it linked down below. I basically show you me preparing the products I sold and what my final table looked like. But apart from market stuff, I mainly want to work in my sketchbook a little bit, do some drawing, as I didn't get much time to do drawing last week with preparing for the fair. And then I might also do a bit of work on my children's book as I really want to start sending it out to publishers. So that's really it for now. So let's get into this week's studio vlog, shall we? I thought I'd pop on here and give you a bit of an update of what I've been up to. I basically started this week off with doing admin-y tasks, so there's not really been much to film. I basically got this big list that I created this week of like my priorities of what I want to do from my illustration career, ranging from like my children's book work, trying to get into that industry, and just like stuff like my products and trying to sell at market. So I'm slowly making my way through the list, and there's different tasks that I've made more of a priority than others. So the main priority at the moment is focusing on my children's book work. So I've worked on creating a list of publishers and agents to basically send both my portfolio to and then my children's book, and I've finally finished putting it together in one document to start sending it off. So I'll show you a sneak peek of that. Here's a little snippet of a spread from my children's book. I'll also show you this one as it's on my website already anyway. But yeah, I've just made a PDF document that I'll send to publishers and agents, and hopefully I'll find someone who likes it. But if not, it's a good learning experience to see what the process is like, trying to get my work out there as like a actual story rather than just sending my portfolio out. So I'll keep you updated with how that process goes, and yeah. But now that that's like all compiled, I can actually start sending it to the people that I've made the list on, and I'll just keep adding to the list and keep sending to more people. And the whole point of the list really is for me to document the dates I send stuff, mainly because I might not even get a response, but if I do, I can document what date I get a response. But it's also good to know if like I want to contact them again in the future, to say that to just know that I have contacted them before. Like if I update my portfolio, I can say, oh, I've contacted you in the past but I've updated my portfolio, or if like I'm approaching with a different book, etc, basically. So I've done that. I've also edited my 2 recent paintings I've done and added them to my website, so I'll show you a clip of that as well. The paintings I've added onto my website are under the section of children's book illustration. I have my website linked down below if you'd like to have a look at some of my artwork. But the first one is this painting I did for Mermaid for the prompt Barbie, and you can actually find it as a paint with me on my channel, so I'll have that linked down below. And then the next one is also a paint with me that you can find on my channel, and again I'll link down below. But it's my most recent painting where I did it as like a drawing challenge. I'll explain that in a second a bit more, but yeah, that's an update for my website. I have done some painting this week, being this spread here. I did it as a paint with me, so that's the previous video on my channel, and I also have it linked down below if you're interested in watching it. I basically did a drawing challenge for this where I filled this tin here up with like a bunch of prompts, and I just picked 3 out at random, and this was the result. basically my prompts were cactus, chair and ice, and I created this like silly narrative where there's two kings, a cactus king and an ice cube king, and they basically have this really long old rivalry, and they finally managed to overthrow each other, but with a great cost, as neither are suited for each other's environment. So the cactus king's freezing to death while the ice cube king is melting to death. So not a great result for either of them, but I just like how silly the idea is, and it was just fun to do a bit of painting. And I'm trying to do a bit more finished works, as I mainly enjoy sketching. So, and I think I get a bit intimidated of the thought of turning a sketch I really like into a final illustration in case I ruin it. But I'm trying to get over that a bit. And then next I've started also working on my next 2 Doctor Who illustrations. So if you've not watched my channel before, I'm doing a Doctor Who drawing challenge where I'm doing a watch of classic Doctor Who from the beginning in order, and I'm decided to kind of draw an illustration for each story, as I just thought it'd be fun to document the watch through. And I just love Doctor Who, so any excuse to get to do some Doctor Who drawing I'll take. But I've not watched it in order before. I have seen a lot of episodes, but they were when I was a kid, so the overall story doesn't make loads of sense because I watched it randomly, and also I was quite young, so I don't necessarily remember the stories themselves very well. So the most recent story I finished was one called The Keys of Something. I'll put the title on screen because I don't quite remember it, but it has these guys in it called the Vord, who are like these people dressed up in these kind of silly looking costumes, and they basically protect them from like, it's either like radioactive or like acid sea or something like that. But it's a very busy story. Like each episode is kind of set in a new setting, and as they kind of jump into to new places to find these keys, so it was kind of hard to know what to do my drawing on. So I actually just based it off some promo images that they did for the episode, and it's of Susan being kind of like held by one of the Vord, and I just thought they were quite funny, so that's what I'm basing it on. And I'm basically going to take this sketch and edit it in Procreate to a composition I like, and that looks a bit better. And then the next one, I'm still watching it, but I did watch it last year, so it's a bit more fresh in my mind, and I thought I'd just get a head start on it basically. So it's the story is the Aztecs, and my main idea was to have a big portrait of Barbara, as I've not really done one of the illustrations with a focus on Barbara yet, so I thought it'd be fun to give her a bit more of the limelight. And I just think her head, like Aztec headset thing's very pretty. They basically dressed her up as they thought she was a god, so that's the reason for that. And then underneath I'm gonna have Ian fighting the Aztec warrior. They basically are fighting to see who's the best warrior, and so the portrait itself was like my idea that I knew I definitely wanted to draw her, just because I really liked her outfit. My boyfriend came up with the suggestion of adding the fight below it, and to kind of draw it. This was the sketch I got him to do to show me what he meant, but it's kind of like to have her looming over, looking like a god figure over the fight. Kind of to me it kind of reminds me of the composition of like the Karate Kid films, like the original ones. So I'll put on screen a poster that I think kind of gives off the sense of the idea a bit more, but I find this little sketch very cute and funny, so I think when I finish the Aztec drawing it'd be quite funny to do a comparison of the both next to each other. But that's the update for now, and I'll just keep filming what I get up to as I'm slowly making my way through this big list I have. So yeah, let's just get into the rest of this vlog. I forgot to add that I did this illustration in the update. I just thought it'd be nice to do an illustration to celebrate the fact that it's Pride Month this month. So I've done one of my butterfly frogs, and then for his wings I've given him the colours of the rainbow flag. I also added some antennae of hearts, and also some hearts on the wings themselves, just to really emphasise the fact this month is like celebrating love and stuff. But I don't normally give my butterfly frogs antennae, but I think it looks quite cute, so I might start doing that more. But yeah, I've just got him sitting on a nice little cloud, and yeah, I'm quite like how this illustration turned out. So I finished the board drawing. This is what it looks like. I really like how it turned out. I experimented with texture brushes a bit more in this, which has been fun. I kind of used a kind of wood-like water kind of like brush in the background, and then I use a bit of like a spray brush in some bits like here. I also use 2 different texture brushes for some of the like outfit material on the characters, and I do think it elevates how they look having that texture on. And I also experimented with a slight bit of texture on the text itself. I'm not sure if you can really tell. I'm also enjoying adding a bit of glow effects at the moment to these illustrations, especially when they're a bit like this, a bit weird composition wise and split up. I think it helps a bit like bring them together. So yeah, that's what that looks like. I've also finished drawing the sketch for my next one, the Aztec one. I'm not sure yet, but I might get rid of this rock here and write the Aztecs in that space instead. So I finished Barbara and like added to her headdress a bit. And then I also drew Ian and then the warrior. I did quite a cartoony version of them. And I've added a load of clouds and like clouds here to make it look like she's watching over them, kind of like godlike, like she's in the sky as a god watching over them. So I'm going to be working on this next mainly. I've also done some sketching in my sketchbook that I'll show you now as well. So I didn't show you this page in full detail, but a few days ago I just did some portrait practice. I did this because I was kind of out of practice in my sketchbook for a bit, and when I don't know what to draw, portraits are my go-to because I always need to practice them to try and improve my skills. I'm not massive on these 2, but I kind of like these 2 here, so that's that. And then I did a quick sketch of Ian and the warrior here, and like the fact I wanted a circle thing in the middle on the original sketch page, and then I edited it all together to get that sketch I just showed you on Procreate. And then this is what I did yesterday. I just decided to draw straight in pen. I don't do this very often, but I want to do it more, and I actually really like how a lot of these turned out. And I think my sometimes I'm just better when I try to be brave and just use pen straight away. So I'll give you a bit of a close-up view. All these drawings are based off pictures I found on Pinterest. This is a cat with like fairy wings and a little angel halo. This was a cat that was wearing like a very bright pink wig. This is one of those long nosed dogs. I think it's a trend where they're kind of like the Russian ladies or something on TikTok. This was a fairy mouse. I really love how this one turned out. A fancy goose. I kind of messed up the beak a bit, but that's all right. Still looks pretty. Penguin wearing, again, another pink wig. Can't see though. That is a dog with a flower around his head. There wasn't quite enough room to like draw him, so I don't know if you can fully tell it's supposed to be a dog or not. This is a guinea pig. We've got sunglasses, not the best, but still cute enough. And then a little cat clown. And this is an inspired card I did. I'm going to start brainstorming. An update actually, I've just booked, or hopefully have just booked, a craft fair for July. And I'm thinking of making some cards in preparation for that fair once I'm confirmed that I've definitely got my place. So one idea I'm thinking of doing is a clown cat birthday card. I'll show you when I brainstormed my designs anyway, and take you through my process of creating those cards. But yeah, this is just a really fun page, and yeah, it's really made you want to use pen more. And I might go back and add a bit of colour with pencil, or maybe just some like bits in pen, maybe like pinks. There's a lot of pink connecting themes for all these drawings. But yeah, that's a bit of an update on the art stuff I've been up to. So I thought I'd come in with a final update. I have finished drawing the Aztec picture for the Aztec story. This is what it looks like. I decided to explore colour in this one to kind of make Barbara stand out more, kind of show that she's like a godlike figure, while leaving Ian and the warrior in black and white. And yeah, I also added like a glow around her headpiece and gold jewellery, just to kind of give that more godlike appearance. And obviously she's like overwatching them in the clouds, kind of to make it seem like she's a god living up above them all and all that. But yeah, so this is the final, and then this was the original sketch my boyfriend did, which is based upon. But I do really like how this turned out. It was really fun to do like the details of the headdress and to make it look sparkly and that. And I feel like it looks a bit like movie poster vibes, which is quite fun. So yeah, that's how that illustration's turned out. And that basically brings us to the end of this week's studio vlog. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!